Good morning, whatever it is for you, beauties. We've got probably a little bit longer than a 60-minute yin practice today, and I wanted to cover the water element. So if you're in the southern hemisphere, you will be with me very much coming towards the end of winter, which is the element that the season that the element of water sits in. But it's not always relative just to the seasons. It might be that you're just feeling like a really wintry kind of way of being today, so you want to draw inwards. You're very much about staying home, you want to hibernate and all of that stuff, and winter's very much about restoration and going inward, like kind of that real minimal kind of quiet place where we can begin to create from almost from the nothingness of winter. And you know, I've reflected quite a lot lately about my own life and how I live according to the seasons, and for a number of years I've just been chasing the summer. I've not had a winter for maybe 4 years, and you know, for a while there it was really good, but I must say that this forced upon me winter that I've had to I want to say endure, but it's actually not been enduring at all. It's been really pleasant, and it's actually been really nice to actually let myself go inward and be quiet and be still and kind of give space to whatever it is that needs to come through next. And so I guess that's what this practice is all about. It's very nurturing. It's about being very quiet. So I'm not going to be talking much at all. We'll be going in the poses and we'll stay, and that will be it. And let's go from there. So as always, have everything with you, like your blocks and your bolsters and your homemade, all the things. And we're going to get started in butterfly. So if you know it, go straight in. If you're not sure, just bring the soles of your feet together. So your heels are about 18 inches away from your groin. And then I like to just actually come in maybe like 30% of my capacity. So it's not like the deepest forward fold I can manage. And then over the time that I'm in the pose, then I'll kind of just feel for an organic release rate. So just a few little things to know before we go into quiet is that we're working with the energy of the kidney and the bladder, which is in alignment with the water element and the season of winter. And essentially the kidneys are what store our life force, our jing, our life essence. And so when we're always outward in our life, we're constantly outputting this essence. And what this practice is about is actually cultivating a practice that nourishes this essence. It's a restoration. And so beginning this pose with breathing really quite intentionally through the back of your body into the area where your kidneys sit. And if you're having a really advanced day, you will imagine your kidneys and what they look like physically. And then how you will breathe in a way that helps them feel really nourished. It's coming up towards the last kind of 5 or so breaths. Always the time when we start to think about moving, or this a moment where we get an opportunity to just feel a little bit more. Just so slowly. Slowly. Start to roll yourself up and come down onto either your back or your belly. Oh. Maybe your arms reach over your head today. Maybe your arms are out shoulder height, resting on your heart. And just letting yourself uptake there, that change in energy. Maybe you feel more of a flow of energy through the back line of your body. Beauties. Coming on up to sitting when you can. So we're going to give a few options for the next practice. So you can come either into saddle if you know what that is. If saddle's not going to work for you today, then supported bridge. So I'll demonstrate both so that those of you that are new know what your options are. And those of you guys that know these poses, you can just head straight in and then you get a little extra bit of time there as well. So if you're coming into saddle, it's the one with your knees bent, and I prefer today that you did do both knees bent. If it feels like a practice for you where you want to do half, you can. But so you can sit in between your heels, you can sit on your heels, you can sit on a block. And then you're simply reclining back. So a recline back might be here, and that's completely okay. That's still saddle no matter where you're at in terms of the height. And then again, you'll go down depending on what's available for you today, different every day. Bolsters are great if you want to recline back onto your bolster. And then the other option is supported bridge. So again, you can use a bolster or a block, so it kind of just depends on what your personal preference is. I think the thing with a block is that obviously you've got different heights, so if you want to go a little bit higher you can, and then placing that to run horizontally along your sacrum, not your lower back, so you've got quite a bit of your butt muscle on there too. And then arms can come over your head or by your side or whatever else works. So I guess it's just about giving the kidney region a bit of a squeeze, and I'd say, and the word squeeze sounds a little bit like, oh, I don't know about that, but the idea is that we're restricting the flow of blood, which is also responsible for our chi, our energy, our life force. And by restricting, what happens when we release the pores and we come out, then there's a burst of energy that flushes through the kidneys and the kidney meridian line, and so it carries away any kind of stagnant energy. You hear this term quite a lot, but like the stagnation is, it's almost like if you imagine a bubbling spring versus like an old puddle. We want to go for the feeling of energy of a bubbling spring and less the feeling of energy of an old dirty puddle, and that's kind of what we're aiming for. You know, when the kidneys are deficient or they're kind of drained of jing, like essence, that manifests for us emotionally as a lack of will. So we give up really easily, and we're often sitting in quite a lot of fear when the kidneys are out of balance. Like kind of ungrounded, unfounded fear, like no real reason to be fearful. And there's last kind of few breaths here where you may want to just focus on directing your breath through the back of your body. So you're breathing into the area of your kidneys, down through the back of your legs. And then particularly for those of you who have been in a little while longer, just kind of take your time. It's coming out incredibly slowly. And again, either coming down onto your back, or some of you might want to come onto your belly. It's kind of up to you, but come down in a way that kind of allows you to feel like that release of chi, of blood that moves back through your kidneys. So you're beginning to visualize and really feel viscerally how this is working in your body, rather than it being just an imagined idea. Okay. So moving on from here into Sphinx or Seal. So again, it will depend on how you're traveling today. If you want to take more of a kind of gentler version, you'll rest your chin in your hands. Lying on your belly. I personally like my palms pressing together, but you might want to work with your forearms down. So it kind of depends. I just feel it's less effort through my shoulders. And then obviously the kind of deeper version kind of opens up more of the front body along with the squeeze in the back is Seal. So you can have your hands at any position. You can turn your wrists around, take them wider, narrower, whatever you feel. And then it's the same with your head. So some of you guys might want to take your head back and open the front of your throat. Some of you might want to let your head hang right down. You might want to work with your legs really close together. Some of you may want really far apart, but I guess again it's that essential intention that we're working with of nourishing, restoring, bringing our awareness deeper inside, so there's a more kind of hibernation feeling. And then a little squeeze of the back region of our body, our kidneys and our adrenals. These areas that are so overworked and so tired. Okay, beauties. 5 or so more breaths. Again, that stillness that really matters at this point. As we allow ourselves to move to meet the edge that is asking to be met. Like, how do we move into the deeper sensations? Just coming all the way down, just gradually onto your belly. If that's not an option, back is fine too. Just get that sense of feeling the whole back line of your body, all the way up from the base of your feet, the source point, all the way up through the back of your calves, your hammies, your butt, to your lower, mid and upper back. And just feel for running your breath through those areas. Alright, beauties, coming on up. Easy. Just noticing the difference in energy after like 2 or 3 pauses. Like, it doesn't take a lot, does it? And it's really remembering that as well. Like, we think that we've got to do all these mad, like 10-hour long practices, and it's not the case. So we're next moving into caterpillar. So you can pop something at the back of your knees, like a cushion or a bolster or whatever you've got, if you feel as though this is really hamstringy. Folding forward, again, to your degree. Sometimes I like to support my head for a few minutes, and then I'll come into the deeper version. The other alternative, if it feels appropriate, is snail. So it's actually the same as caterpillar, except the other way around. So again, you can let your legs relax. It's not an active version. Knees can bend. Maybe a bolster along the back of your knees. Whatever works for you. The idea is we're starting to open up this channel again at the back line of the body. So choose a version that allows you to do that. There's kind of a pattern emerging here where it's like we'll kind of open that area up and then squeeze it down, and then open and squeeze in each pose. So it's a little bit like the kidneys are getting massaged. Again, that feeling of allowing that to occur. And then noticing what happens in your own body, so your own emotional changes. Maybe you have a really deep physical, like, it's like this systematic release. Just let the processes occur as they need to. And again, beauties, those last kind of 5 breaths to just allow for the experience to permeate deeper. very gradually, slowly, slowly, slowly. It's come easy either onto your belly or your back, and again, whatever noises, sounds, kind of physical sensations that need to be felt. And feel into the energy of water in your body, so your liquids like your sweat, your saliva, your urine, your lymph, your liquid fascia, even your blood, like the will of your blood as it moves through your body. And then coming on up to sitting for dragonfly. So you can work in a straddle like this. You can have blocks maybe underneath your knees if that feels better. You can also sit up on something. Remember, you're coming forward to whatever degree works. The other option is to do this up on the wall. If you're close by a wall, a bit more of a restorative option. But again, just allowing for the legs to be supported, and it, you know, it's quite nice sometimes to let our external environment support us. beauties. So wherever you are, just going to bring in your legs together, easy. You can help your legs together with your hands maybe. If you've been doing dragonfly on the wall, you might want to take your legs up the wall for a few breaths. That's quite a nice option. And just let that energy move through your cells, through your blood, through your veins, through your skin. And then slowly making your way out. Just come all the way down onto your back. If you're not already there, if you're on your back, stay there. Just keep your knees bent and your feet flat. And we'll set up for, I'm going to do a very modified spinal twist because I prefer this for my own kidneys. But if you want to do something like twisted roots or another twist that you like to work with, then of course you can. Just that little shift of your pelvis to the right as your knees come over to your left. And then right hand kind of overhead or out by the side, whatever that works for you. And again, it's just running energy through the whole back line of your body. Feeling of breathing in a way that is nourishing and caring, kindness. Finishing up, come back easy. Take a few breaths there. Maybe your knees might straighten out so your legs are long, or maybe they stay bent today. And let's transition. Just, when you feel ready to go. Second side. Again, just remembering in this pose that there's nothing to do with your bones, so you can just let them rest. They don't need to dig into the floor, or they don't even need to hold your body upright. Like, they can pretty much relax fully, like even the very center of your bones. It's like that sense of real effortlessness, that real kind of, your beauties. Kind of easing your way back. Again, option to stay longer if you'd like. And then moving from this place to final rest. So however you want to rest today, maybe on your belly, maybe on your back, maybe legs up the wall. As you're resting, this sense of more opening in your body, more spaciousness perhaps. And in that spaciousness is where we're able to feel that the chi or life force in our body can move through rather than collecting in those sticky places. So focusing in Shavasana and really getting out of our own way, so we can allow for this energy to move through us rather than from us. And if you need to stay longer, then please stay. So nourish yourself how you need to. If you feel nourished and quite vibrant, ready to move on, transition into one side. Making your way up to sitting in your own time. And just bringing your hands to rest easy at your heart. As you acknowledge all the things your kidneys do for you each day. So a space of gratitude and abundance for all of the things that we do have. Namaste.